So here we are. Truck looks very nice. Whole shop looks very nice. Finally, the new race shop is a reality, Daniel. Was it hard to get everything together? The concrete floor and the amazing lighting and all that stuff?
It just, money and time and planning and just putting everything where we wanted and the cars. But we got there in the end. It took a couple of years, but now it's all at home and makes it a lot easier to work on and better for the crew and everyone.
So she can still cook dinner and look out the window and say, "Dinner's ready, honey."
That's the one.
You said that once and it's become something that's, you beat him by 4 points in the championship, Lisa. Let's get to the elephant in the room, and that's where you say, "Yeah, but she's still got to cook my dinner."
That's it.
She did a great job with the Narnia beans and the French cutlets. What an incredible first season.
It's been amazing, honestly. Didn't expect to finish anywhere near how we have. Just wanted to go out, be consistent and learn more, being our first season. But to finish in the top half of the season, it's pretty amazing.
I recall seeing her sitting in the chair, very emotional in Darwin, tears in her eyes, just thinking that, what have I signed up for? What are we doing this for? And now, the Keys put that phenomenal effort and recrafted, rebuilt, got this hot rod back to being phenomenal. And after all the will we get licensed, won't we get licensed stuff, it's been a roller coaster, Daniel.
Yeah, drag racing's full of highs and lows, unfortunately, and that was Lisa's low point. After she done that good run and beat Zap and went 82 in Sydney and then to the lows. So that's racing, but you just got to keep going and keep pushing and make it. That's it. So,
and there's never a point where you can relax in this sport. You'll never just run to the other end and go, "Well, that was good. Take it back to the pits. We'll give it a quick polish and send it back out." There's always something little. He's always messing around and fiddling with stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, there's always something to do, some improvement to make it go quicker the next lap. There's always stuff to look at and change on the car.
And mysteries. So many mysteries. Like suddenly the car upshifts or it goes from a second to fifth in 0.8 of a second, and things that you can't possibly factor in going into an event.
Yeah, you just got to take it as it is, and then you got to try and work, like on the weekend, 2 weeks ago, obviously we started shifting on times that are RPM. We didn't have another shift box with us, so we just got to do with what we got, and we got lucky in the final, but we worked hard to get there to put ourselves in that position. So sometimes you take the luck, but sometimes you wing it as you go, and you've got to make, and all races do it, you just got to keep pushing.
And there was new problems that got created by you going faster, where you weren't used to filling the car at certain speeds. Like there was, I think that at Tail and Bend, where you were doing PBs and the car was doing things at different speeds that you'd never experienced before. So it's a constant changing chessboard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always something to learn. So it makes the smallest little move, but it feels like it's making a big move because of the speed that it's doing. So just adjusting to the speed that I've been going now has been a big change as well.
You faced each other fairly rarely when you think about it. How many times did you run against each other?
4, I think.
4 times, yeah.
Okay, and the win-loss ratio on that one?
Might have been 2 all.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. As opposed to poor old Pete Lovering, who's he was nearly 6-0.
Yeah.
We were all desperate for him to race you just so you could take care of it and all the crew could wear your shirts.
I got a few on Pete too as well. I don't think he's beat any of our cars.
No.
It's going to be exciting. Pete might be coming on the road with us next year, which will be very cool. At least we know there'll always be KFC on the road. What has it been like to watch her progression, as your wife? Forget being another race car driver. It's been a surreal experience.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Obviously when Lisa was testing and doing all those runs, I'm on the start line, I'm there with her. So then, we're both racing and we're never racing at the same time. Sometimes I'm at the other end of the track, sometimes I'm behind her, sometimes I can't see what she's doing, I can only hear it. So it's definitely tough, but she's a great driver. I've taught her everything that I know in my 14, 15 years of racing, and she's listened to every part. The crews listen, they do their job. So I trust them out there, I trust Lisa out there. So it's kind of like just another racer going down the track, even though it's my wife, because I trust that they know what they're doing, the car's right, and she knows, when enough's enough.
Yes.
The third qualifier in Sydney 2 weeks ago, she went 572, it would have been a 68, she had the chutes out early. Track was getting cold, it started to move to the centre line. So all those things, they're the bits I'm proud of, that she listened everything that I taught her. You know, we lay in bed at night and watch TV, and we look at crashes. We go through stuff. I show her runs. You know, just things you can improve or learn before it happens to you, I guess.
So it's not maths at home. It's drags at first sight. It's not married at first sight. You're not watching all the reality TV shows. The crazy part about this is she's Toyota. Like, she's driven the road car. Like, Ronnie's got history in drag racing. Russell's got history in drag racing. Zap's got history in. Everyone else has had experience coming into this. So how do you develop instinct and feel? You can't teach that. She's either got it or she hasn't.
Yeah, 100%. And like we've always said, she did over 100 test runs. We kept hiring the Perth Motorplex, you know, month after month, and other people come along and chipped in with the costs. So it wasn't a costly exercise.
Yeah.
But all those things. So you sit back, and I'm comfortable with her going 255, 260, you know, 260 mile per hour at 560s. Yeah. Only because she's had all the things that could go wrong before in testing when she was learning how to license. What scares me sometimes is people that get in these cars and go 560s but haven't never been that far. So when something happens or goes wrong, they don't have the experience to know how to react to that. They may panic. We don't know. You know, I feel comfortable. She's had tire shake, wheel standing the car, you know, driving towards the wall, doing all sorts of crossing center lines, doing all that, and she's learnt the hard way, I'd say, from the start. So
go over to the rear of the car over there and show me what you used to do when she was learning how to do burnouts.
Well, yeah, I kind of...
So this is a good story.
And I'm going to be honest. So when Lisa first, she'd never done a burnout ever in her life.
Yep.
And me and Josh McLennan, Josh was there helping us. You know, he helps us a fair bit.
Yeah.
Get things going, you know, and she couldn't do a burnout, so she couldn't go past 10 feet out before she backed off the throttle, so she couldn't get rubber down on the track. So me and Josh did the old, you know, the US trick. We would run out holding the quarter panels to keep the car straight.
Yep.
Lisa didn't know. She got the confidence how to do a burnout, how to keep driving the car, and she's doing, sometimes I tell her to calm down a bit because it costs money to keep replacing these tyres. So yeah, she can do a burnout just as good as everyone else now.
So you were literally holding the side of the car and giving it stability and sort of helping to...
Just to keep it straight, to get her more confident so she could get further and further out until... we probably did it for 10 laps, and then she was confident enough after that to do it on her own. She learned how to steer it and do all those things. So
that's the one thing you haven't done yet, is a better skid than him. Because he does do pretty good skids. That's like part of his deal. Have you been surprised at how you seem to have adapted so quickly to this?
Definitely. Obviously, like Daniel said, the amount of laps that we did in testing definitely helped, but I didn't think that I would pick up as quickly as what I did and go as fast as we have so quickly.
It seems to be instinctive, you know, where you do get off the throttle sometimes. Like you sprayed a nozzle, I think, at the bend, and it started to spray fuel on the windscreen and things like that. But you don't just jump off the throttle. You seem to have an ability to settle the car first. There's got to be a respect, I think, for what could go wrong. Is that part of it?
Yeah, definitely. That's where laying in bed, when we watch all these videos and look at data, it all comes into play. So little things like that, I know what to do and how to react in those circumstances now.
The guys have been fantastic with her, haven't they? Like, I think they've had to be. It's not like they treat her as a novelty and go, oh yeah, the chick's here again, because there's a good chance she's going to wax them.
Well, yeah, she's put a lot of them on the trailer and proven herself. So, but yeah, early on, you know, in Perth, she did cop a bit of flack, you know, putting her straight into a door car and not being in any other car, working her way up. So, but she copped that, the girls copped that, and they just kept pushing, and now they've proven them wrong, you know. And even in Sydney, you know, I'm not going to mention names, but a few people come up and just patted us on the back and said she's done so well. I wasn't a believer at the start when we were doing what we were doing. So those moments mean a lot to me, you know what I mean, that we did it, and we set out to do what we did with an all-girl team as well, and put Lisa in the car, and I believe it's worked well, and it's great for the class and for the sport.
He's got such a quiet crew. His crew are so quiet, aren't they?
Compared to mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, most crews are quiet compared to yours, Lisa, but the two teams are polar opposites, aren't they? They're all part of the same family, but you're Your girls, I mean, Hannah is off her chops. Shaz is off her chops. Like, Liz is relatively quiet. Steph, she kind of mixes in the middle of all of that. But your girls go off.
Mm-hmm.
They ride with you.
Yep, definitely.
I mean, you probably don't get to see it live, but later on you get to, I mean, we all get to see the way they go off when you record results. The PBs have been coming down. Did you get to where you thought you wanted to be, or you think you could have been quicker?
Oh, exceeded where I thought we would be. I didn't think we would be in the 60s in our first season, so definitely exceeded our expectations.
How do you, all your team of volunteers, how do you expect them, and that's the word I want to use, to take all that time off work? We had problems with the Nitro Champs where they got rescheduled 2 weeks later. How do you go back to them and go, or are they already expecting it?
Oh, I guess it's always the expectation that it could be rescheduled or changed, rained out. It's just the luck of the draw, really. So everyone kind of knows that it's the chance that there could be a date change. It's hard. Obviously, everyone has work that they need to report back to and try and change leave. So that definitely makes it harder as well.
If we go back to Darwin for a second, there was 2 scary parts to that night. Kelvin was frightening. Your incident was frightening. Do you think maybe that in some way has shaped your respect for these cars? Because you had that incident early, and I think you drive the car now with such a different mindset that you know that sugar honey iced tea can go wrong, and very quickly without you really doing anything wrong. Maybe having that crash early has helped you to get to where you are now.
Definitely. I was very cautious getting back into the car. It took me a long time to be able to make a full track pass. I kept lifting early, well before 1,000 foot, and just building confidence back up to be able to do what we're doing now.
Was there a point there in Darwin where you went, have I done the wrong thing? Or are you thinking she's got to do this?
No. So the lap before I tagged the wall. Do you know what I mean? So...
but that's you, right?
Yeah.
That's not your wife that you bought the car for. Like, there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders for where she's at.
Yeah, but what I'm talking her driving, and not at any point did I worry about what she did. That my car snapped the lap before the same. I was actually racing Lisa in the lap and she beat me. That was one of those 2 runs. But mine snapped and went for the wall, and I tagged the wall. But mine was early on. It was about 250 feet out, not at a half track 1,000 foot. So she was carrying a lot more speed. So the impact was always going to be greater and harder. So, but I don't think we ever spoke about. No, she wanted to get back in it and keep going. So that's why. And for me, I pretty much nearly had 2 months off. I was lucky enough I run my own business, so I just worked in the back shop for nearly 2 months straight, making molds, fixing the body, making panels, getting it ready. Doing all those things because I felt it was unfair on the girls. They worked so hard in licensing and getting to that point, and for something like that to happen that wasn't their fault, I kind of felt bad for them. So I just worked my butt off, along with everyone else on the team, worked hard to get them back out there. So she was ready for round 1 at Tail and Bend.
He did make the whole she's still got to cook my dinner line, but if they didn't realise, he gave you this opportunity to get into this, he's handled the fact that he's the second most popular Gregorini very well. Because that could, t-shirt sales help you not feel so bad.
It all helps the team.
But in a sport that's driven by ego, and there's a lot of testosterone in drag racing in particular, it would have been easy for him to go, hey, I'm the Australian champion. Hey, I'm the main man that takes on Zap these days. But you've come in and taken a significant amount of spotlight, and he's handled it very well.
Yeah, no, we've always planned to do this, so it's been spoken about for a long time that being an all-girl team.
So if you beat me, then this will happen? That kind of conversation?
No, just that the fact of being like an all-girl team, it hasn't been done before, that it's going to create popularity.
Yeah.
So we were already in the plans of what to expect, basically. We knew what was coming.
What ratio of men to women are buying your merch? Is it predominantly girls or is it a mix?
It's a mix. Yeah.
And what about his? It'd be all blokes, wouldn't it? Is it mainly guys that you?
Don't know, I'm doing data.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You seem to have a lot of little role models very quickly. Like girls just come over to you. Just come over to you. I was talking to Kelsey Walford-Lay about you. She's so proud of you. The other girl racers, I think, in the industry are going, look at you girls. Like, it's a collective, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good thing for the industry. Opened the eyes of a lot of people that you can do anything as long as you're prepared to work hard for it and give it a go. Anything's possible.
So there were periods here where the car was unstable at times. You were struggling there in 2 rounds in particular where you just didn't seem to have your confidence. You had issues with the car as well. It's not easy, is it? It's not like you always should be fast when you go out there.
No, there's always going to be a time where you struggle. You have your good meetings and you have your bad meetings, and you've just got to be prepared to work hard and focus on what needs to be done to get it fixed and back out on track and be consistent.
You turned things around pretty well by the bend.
Yeah, the Winternationals was a shocker, and tradition. I think I've won 3 Winternationals, two Winternationals.
You're looking for a hat trick, yep.
And a few more before that in past times, so normally that's our good meeting, but yeah, we had electrical issues in that car. This one ended up being the coil issues. It was just a horror, but and I guess that's why we're that 150 points behind in the leaders in the championship, because you have that one bad meeting and you just can't afford to have that. So obviously we got to work as a team and improve on that, and whether we like when we go to the bend, we get to test the day before and do that one test lap.
Yep.
When we roll up to the racetrack, and it's kind of like America at PDRA, they test a couple of days before, and then when we go on track for qualifying, we have a tune-up, we have the car going fast. It puts on a better show for the spectator. So
yeah,
maybe that's some discussion that we need to have for next season. Is there an opportunity for all Group 1 cars to do that one test run the day before and get one step ahead, so we put on a better show in qualifying and racing? So
he never stops thinking, does he?
He's an ideas man.
He's an ideas. That's why how many hours do you sleep? 3 hours a night or something like that?
4 sometimes. It's not good.
It's been a phenomenal season for both of you. You're not going to the Winters. I'm Devo, thinking about not going myself. Going to be a fantastic championship conclusion, no doubt, with Russell and Zap getting after it and Ronnie being solid as well. It's a geographical, it's a financial. There's a lot of reasons why you won't be racing there, but you'll be coming there, which is good. I'm excited about that. Are you going to bring any merch and stuff at least? Like, can people get some of that?
Yeah, if people message us online and want merch, we can definitely bring some over if they're keen to purchase it. So message the page and we can organise that for sure.
You won the Nitro Champs with a sizzling 27-second pass. Wasn't quite that bad, but
13.1, I think it was.
Yeah,
two tenths quicker than
might as well have been.
Yeah.
And you won the B final by yourself.
Yep.
It was a bit of a whimper at the end, but you'll take the win.
Yeah, that's it. Heard Russell, he got back on the throttle, and then I was thinking about it, and then a timing box come flying past in front of me. So
Made your mind up for you.
Yeah, and that was it, and just cruised on down. So it's not the way you want to win a race, but at the end of the day, we all worked so hard, and we earned that position in the A final, and so did Russell, and it pans out the way it pans out.
You beat him in the championship. 4 points. Could have been 40, doesn't matter. Good job.
Thanks.
None of your business.
Yeah.